everybody, like I said in there, has got to do some soul searching.
That kind of year for TJ in 2013. The Yellow Jackets open up with a win, and that's it. Glenwood outruns the Jackets in week 2. It's the beginning of the end. Thomas Jefferson loses 8 straight games. TJ drops the last 2 by scores of 88 and 72 to nothing. So, another frustrating, disappointing season for the Yellow Jackets. But it's a new year and a new beginning. And as a certain head coach once told me, idle hands do the devil's work. Well, head coach Mark Puev, you've had just a devil of a time trying to turn that program around down on Broadway. But you did make some adjustments earlier this summer. Bonding, filling the culture, team camp.
Yeah, first thing we did as a team, we went to the high school player development camp in Des Moines over at Camp Dodge. It's an overnight deal, and it's a great opportunity for the kids to get together and start to come together as a team. Later in the summer, all schools usually have their own team camp, and we received an offer in early July to be able to come back to Camp Dodge and host our own team camp there for a couple nights. And so we did that, had a really good turnout, and I think that's something that we were hoping as a catalyst for something to kind of bring the team together.
And again, it's all about that culture, changing that culture, and it's been a work in progress at TJ. Also, the team as well. You come into this season, you got to replace 11 starters.
Yeah, you know, the big hit was in our skills, receivers, linebackers. The strength it is, but the strength is in our line where we return a lot of seniors. We're going to have some good leadership there, and we got a couple newcomers that can help fill those spots.
And another area of concern, as a certain head coach once told me, it's one thing to shoot yourself in the foot, but it's another to keep loading that gun. Turnovers just killed you last year.
Yeah, when you're a good team and you turn the ball over, you're going to have a hard time winning. And when you're a team that's struggling and you do it, you don't give yourself a chance. And that's basically what we want to do. And our big point of emphasis this year is to just give ourselves a chance in a game. If you lose, but don't beat yourself.
Special teams. I don't think you returned a kick for a touchdown last year, and on punt returns, you averaged just 7 yards per return. So you really got to crank it up on special teams.
Yeah, that's the second point of emphasis right there is, the year before we did have some success on our return game, both in punt and kick return. Last year, not so much. So it's something that, again, we kind of looked at some film and looked at some people, and we're trying to figure out who will give us the best chance to succeed in those areas.
And the best chance to succeed on both sides of the ball, you've told me, keep it simple, stupid. Trim the playbook on offense and defense.
Yep, the little acronym that everybody uses when they go in for a job interview. It really is. If you do a lot of things okay, you're not doing anything good.
Right.
And so we really are going to do that. We have our scrimmage coming on up here, and it's, anybody in the world can come look at us because it's not going to be that fancy. We really want to concentrate on the few basic things of running and passing.
Everybody's going to know who your quarterback is. You're going to run the spread offense once again with Jason Wallace, but he struggled to me last year. He completed just 36% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, 12 picks. What are you looking for in Jason Wallace to improve?
Well, we're hoping that with what we're doing on the offensive line and our schemes right there being simplified, it's going to give him a little bit more time. The offensive line will be able to do that this year a lot better than I think in the past. By doing that, he is confident enough and he's done this long enough where he can make better decisions and hopefully get that ratio reversed in a big way.
4 or 5 guys back on your O-line, but what about in the backfield? You lose Stephen Ruby and his 128 carries. Who's going to pick up the load in the backfield to take some pressure off Jason?
Right now it's a two-headed monster with Gage Fisher and Griffin Koletsky. They've been doing the majority of the work. We have another young man in Robert Conley who hopefully can step up as the season progresses here as he gets a little more snaps.
What about this Bobby Daly kid, this transfer from Georgia? I've heard a little bit about him. How's he going to fit in? What's he going to do?
He's one of the newcomers that's going to help us out at those skill positions at receiver and defensive back. Great kid, nice kid, one of the most polite people you ever talk to. He's another one of those people that if you could clone him so you could have him for future generations, you would.
Defensive side of the ball, need a lot of help, Coach. You lost those 8 straight games last year. The defense gave up an average of 57 points a game. you just need to totally revamp or do what to that defense?
Well, the first thing comes from what we talked about earlier, is that the turnovers have got to
Right.
be eliminated, because you can't ask your defense to defend 10 yards at a time. When you're giving the ball over deep in your territory all the time, it's not going to help them at all, and it really skews those numbers a lot.
Who's going to step out on defense?
I really think that we're going to have a couple people in the secondary. I think Bobby Daly will be one. I think we might have a young man by the name of Gage Sarita. He's a junior. He'll be playing that safety. I think a couple of the linemen in the light of Devin Kermode, I think they're going to help us out up front too.
All right, let's help out with the schedule. First game in a while you start at St. Albert.
Yep, we're going to be playing over there with their new bleachers that they're
From
getting.
Rosenblatt Stadium.
Yep, that they're getting. So we're going to be over there for the first game. Should be pretty exciting. Then we have a couple home games against Glenwood and AL, and then we go on the road down to Lewis Central to finish our non-district games.
But the good thing about your schedule is that you were saying the other day, just 2 games away from Council Bluffs.
Yeah, we only leave the town twice. We go to Southeast Polk, I think, in week 6 or 7, and then at the end of the season we go to Ames.
All right, now there are some indications to me that the program is moving in the right direction. You've got more coaches this year. You lost 3, but you picked up 6. Your strength and conditioning program was tweaked a bit earlier this summer. And the numbers game, I saw a lot more, or a little bit more, you could say, players in full force out at camp.
Yeah, I think last year we were at around 47 for our 10 through 12. Right now, I just looked at it this morning, looking, got a couple of kids that are still missing, but I think we were at 58 bodies in uniform yesterday. So hopefully that's picking up a little. We got about 30 freshmen out right now. So again, our numbers are up about 15-ish from last year, and I think we'll still get some trickling in.
All right, now here's the bottom line for me. You've won 6 games in 3 years. So how do you get these kids to continue to buy in to what you're selling?
It has to be important to them, and they have to see some sort of progress, some sort of results. And like I said, when you get them to buy in together as a team and as a family, I think there's that vested interest that they'll start to believe in.
Well, I believe you. I just hope it turns out that way on the football field. I can't wait to see you at Al Lieber Field